Hello and welcome back here for race number 1 of the OSRL Season 3 PS4 Tier 1 in Australia. We're finally back after 3 months without a race. And oh boy, I can already say that this tier is going to be great. We have so many quick drivers in here. It will definitely be very nice to see everyone competing. So we have the drivers going out for the first out laps in qualifying, as we have 16 drivers on the grid today. Currently watching Shadow official, who came second in the team championship, in the constructors championship actually, last season, racing with Kuhn, who's not there today, but he'll be back next week for the Bahrain Grand Prix in the second race of the season. As I don't know who's actually closest guy to start a lap right now. It should be one of the Alfa Romeos. I think it's Modstol. Yeah, it is Modstol. Currently the first guy who's going to start a lap. He's now coming down into the final corner. And now starting the first lap of Season 3 in Tier 1. Going down into 4th gear through turn 1. Good on the throttle. Breaking down into 2nd gear. Also running a bit wide over the curb there. Ooh, he's nearly lost the back end there. Sliding a bit. But he's currently still good on his lap. Going down into 3rd gear. Also running a bit over the curb. Through turn 10 and 11. On the inside apex there, which probably was because he's doing a banker lap right now. He didn't want to really attack the curb as much as you possibly should do. Now we'll see what his lap time will be. And the first one, of course, in Tier 1 in Season 3. As he will now come over the line. It will be a 1:21.6. Not a good lap, of course. But it should be a banker lap. As Shadow said, it's a 1:20.5. Already a good one to start with. Next up is Steven with a 21.2. Then have the next Tazo. It's Jonas is not on lap yet. Drips coming into the pit lane. He invalidated. And then Joe Murawa coming over the line. Provisional pole 20.0. Lap times are getting faster and faster. QVR FC Game Boys 190.6 and Scuderia Subcelsa 119.4. And we're getting towards the times that most of these guys can do. But Scuderia Seb's pace has been really surprising. Didn't expect them to be that far up already, starting the season. Going to come should be one of the Avataris, I think. We have one of the reserve drivers, Willie Kid Blue. He does a 20.4. Good lap for the reserve driver who jumped in to special L96's car today. We also have another reserve driver in the AlphaTauri today. It's Suma, of course, has been racing here for a while. He's been here since the start of Season 1 last year on the F1 2019 game. So now Shadow. I would say, okay, it's only again a game, but I think with the fastest lap down there. Yeah, now it's showing up again. Was a bit wondering why it showed up. Shadow's still the fastest lap, but yeah, it's of course the game that we all love. Game was now waiting in the pits with his teammate. We also have Evior and Luis on their outlaps. Luis, of course, P3 last year in the championship, right behind Kazai, who's not racing today, and Kuhn in P2. We also have Vaki, who's coming back into the league for season 3. So we have a lot of known guys in Tier 1, of course. Since season 1 or 2, we've had Jonas in P3 right now, Shadow, Steiben, Modstol, Drips, Suma, Jonas in P11, Luis, Vaki. All of these guys have been here for some time already. And they already know a lot about the league and stuff like that. So we're now going to go on board with Luis, who's made an even bigger jump towards this game, I'd say. He was making big jumps in 2019 already, but now he's really quick. And he is one of the title contenders this season. Definitely with his pace. But there are so many guys that can be at the top this year. So we really have to see who will have the most consistency for the whole 22 races. Starting today on the 7th of August until the 15th of January. As we're making a 2-week break in December, which is already out. Which is already known to all of the drivers. As Luis now comes around the final corner. It will definitely be a good lap. And it will be a 1:19.9. It puts him into 3rd place for now. Right in front of Jonas. As we should see more and more drivers coming out now for the second run of the qualifying session. All of them are going on to the softs. So we'll see either a 1-stop or a 2-stop, either going onto the hards or doing 2 medium sets. But I could see all of them doing the 1-stop strategy with the hards. Since I don't think a lot of them will go to risk with the 2-stop. As we should have Vagi doing his lap as the next guy. Coming down over the line, doing a 1:20.1, puts him right behind his teammate. Or see that the times are getting close. Jonah starting a lap now. As you can see, the drivers are really getting more aggressive as we see Woolly Kid Blue in the wall. He lost his right end plate, so I don't know what happened there. Because he was on the wall right after the pit exit. I don't know if he was on lap or if he just came out. He was on his out lap, so he probably just spun coming out of the pit lane. He then did a Grosjean in Silverstone as we have Joloswag up into P4. One of the surprises also of the evaluation races that we've had in the past 2 weeks. 1:19.9, really close to being in the 20s, but he was able to make it out of there. Now we have Game Boys also currently up on his time by 1/10. Will he be able to beat Scuderia Sepp's time though? He will come over the line. It will be a 1:19.5, but it's not enough yet to beat Scuderia Sepp. But of course, both of them will have another run, as well as everyone in this lobby, and they will definitely try to challenge the guys at the top. But Scuderia Sepp is really looking good so far with that lap. There's another guy in the wall. It's Suma who also spun the car now. He hasn't set a lap yet. He's got damage, so he probably only has one last shot to actually... Ooh, he's going into the wall again to actually post the lap. That's what I wanted to say though, but... Also him, he can't take the corners anymore with that damage. So I really want to know who's actually on laps right now. Luis coming out of the pits. We also have one of the Alfa Romeos, of course, not AlphaTauris behind that. Martin not on a lap. He did a 121.3. But I think he's coming into the pits again. So he probably made a mistake on a lap. He doesn't want to ruin his tires. I don't know if he improved on the last lap, so I can't say much about that as we have Jonas coming into the pits. Now Stuyven. No, it was Gameboys coming into the pits. Was my bad there. We have Drips also on an outlap. We don't have any drivers except for Ivor, I should say, on a quick lap right now. Also Scuderia Sepp just started his lap. Currently in the middle of Sector 2. So we have Ivor now coming down to the line as he will post a lap time of 1:21.6. He was really surprising in the British evaluation race that we've had last week. Really had a great pace there, I must say. So now watching Scuderia Sepp coming down to the final two corners. Will he be able to beat his own time? That's the question right now. He made a little mistake. Out the final corner, he comes off the line. He does not beat his time, but he's only a little bit less than a tenth down on his time, and he is still in pole. And he would have been right behind Gameboys if he would have done that lap. Would have been behind him. Now we have Luis on his lap. We must have one of the... I don't think there's anyone actually on the quick lap. Except for him right now. No, Shadow probably is on one. Drips is not looking like he's on a fast lap right now, so... Don't actually know. It's doing Lewis improving by 1/10 right now. Coming towards the final two corners. Will he be able to get closer to Gameboys or even beat his time? We will see now. Gets a good exit. Coming down the final straight. Now coming over the line, it will be a 1:19.6. He's got very, very close to Gameboys, but it's not enough to be in P2. That's now Jonas also starting his lap. We have Jonas also close to starting his lap now. We have Jonas, Stuyven, Martin, and if you're not with the great laps at the moment. Vaki also on a quick lap. And as you can see on the minimap, QVR Gameboys is about to start his final run. Vaki nearly spinning the car, but he kept it on the track. But that's this run gone. And he's got 3:40 left to get back into the pits and get back out again. If he's got another set of tires, which I don't know if he still has. So we need to see if he can actually get another run in. QVR Gameboys at the moment improving by 1/10. That would put him into pole position for the race. Let's follow him for this lap. So I think everyone that's coming into the pits now will have a tough time getting out again. Louis is coming into the pits with 3 minutes left. So that will be very, very close for him to make it again. Will Gameboy still be improving? He's not improving in the second sector at all. And he's invalidating and he spun it and he is not out of the session. Thankfully for him. Oh, he's out. Didn't see it. I thought he survived it, but he lost his left rear tire. And that means that he will not be able to improve. Of course, Jonas currently 2/10 up on his time. Will he be able to get close to Luis or even Gameboy's time? We have to wait and see what his second sector will be like if he improves by even more than he did in the first sector. It will definitely be looking good. 3/10 for him. That he's gaining after the middle sector. That would currently put him into P4 or even P3. But I think it should be P4 if he doesn't improve even more in the last sector right now. Now coming down into the final corner. It needs to be good. It looks good. Running out of ERS, coming over the line. It will be provisional pole position for Joe Murawa, 119.3. That's a great lap from the McLaren driver right there. Also, all of the other guys coming out on their out laps right now. But I think the guys that are still in the pits right now, they are definitely not able to get another run in. As it's 1.25 left. It will be close even for Luis, who just came out of the pit exits. The guys that are still in the pits right now, of course, one Mercedes Twitch Lemon, who decided not to do a qualifying run, won't be doing a lap, and also Danny Boy, he won't be doing a lap as well. So we now come down to the final seconds of qualifying. 1 minute to go. We have the first guy coming over the line to start his lap. It's Simon. He definitely needs to improve. Only a 21.2 for the Red Bull driver. And Australia has been one of his best tracks so far on the game, which I've heard from him personally. But only 21.2, he can definitely be faster than it if he gets a lap in. And that's definitely needed for the Red Bull driver. He's currently improving by a 10th. And you want to know who's actually where everyone is right now. Or who's on a lap or not. Jonah starting his lap now. Joel Swag also starting his lap now. I think there should be the next guy on a quick lap should be Stuyven still. And he spun it! And he's out of the session as well. Both Red Bulls crashing at the same place in qualifying into the wall, losing his left rear tire. As we now have Wilkett Blue and Vaki down. Blue making space for Vaki, and he's lost the whole lap because of the AlphaTauri being a little bit in his way. Means Vaki won't be starting in P6, or even worse, because he won't be able to improve his time either. On an invalid lap, his lap is gone. He will start in P14 only. With a 121.6, he did not get a second lap in after his first one. But now we'll watch Scuderia Seb. Will he be able to get the pole position of Joe Murawa, or will he start in P2 only? He's coming over the line, and it will be the pole position for Scuderia Seb. Provisional pole for the Alfa Romeo driver, but will anyone else be able to beat his time? Lewis also crashed out at some point. Jolosway coming over the line. 119.8, that's P5 for him. Also Martin coming now. It will be a 1. Oh, he did not improve at all on his time. So that's the starting grid for the race. Scuderia Seb in pole position. Joe Murawa in P2, QVR FC Gameboy is in P3, OSRL Lewis in P4, Jolo Swag in P5, Vaki in P6, but it looks, on the screen it looks like Mozart is actually able to do a lap right now. Which is a bit weird. I think it's a bug that I've also had on the track before playing the game. So it's looking a little bit weird. But now it's gonna look a little bit like he was still driving. As we've just heard from Danny Boy, that he won't be able to race sadly. We'll have him drop out after qualifying, which is a shame for him. But can't do anything about it. As we of course have the whole grid round down here. Scuderia Seb in pole, John Murao in P2, FC Game Boys in P3, Louis in P4, Joel Swag in P5, Vaki in P6, Drips in P7, Wilkett Blue in P8, Shadow in P9, and I completely missed P10 there, but And it's our grid for race number 1 of Season 3 of the OSRL. To all of you guys in the chat right now, please make sure to leave your predictions for the race in the chat. So we can see what everyone thinks right now of what the results could be out of your view. Also, it will be interesting to see everyone's strategy. It looks like it will be a dry race actually, looking at everything right now. But of course, we don't know if it will maybe start to rain later on in the race. But at the moment, nothing's looking like that. Now it's starting. The formation lap. So Martin getting disqualified from the formation lap already. He's one of the 4 guys on the mediums, as well as SF Jonas, Evior, and Steven, all on the mediums. Twitch Lemon on the hards, who actually spun right now on the formation lap. And he's gonna leave everyone waiting for him to get back to the grid. And warming up their tires right now. As we should probably get some new features popping up in a second. As Jonas is running a bit over the grass in this formation lap. But now we're about to see 29 laps of the Australian Grand Prix, the 5.3 kilometer long circuit. Who will come out on top and win race number 1 of the PS4 Tier 1 in the OSRL? As the drivers are now getting back to their grid spots. And then the lights will be coming on. Schlemmen is also now on his spot. As we're now waiting for the lights to come on. It's the same bug as last year again. The Invoice AI is starting very fast, but now it's lights out and away we go. Skuresap gets a good start, but Jonas doesn't get a better start. Was nearly alongside him. Some guys are next to each other. There's a little bit of a touch between Vaki and I'm Drips, and I think Evor has got a little bit of damage there. Evor and Drips down to P14 and 15. The Fari really losing a lot of time. Suma has been spun around. He's had damage. Danny Boy's II up here. Jonas in the lead. Scuderiasep now fighting with Joloswag down into P4. There's a big collision at the back. There's Steiben in the wall. There's also Shadow in the wall. There's Drips with damage. There's Steiben with damage. There's Suma with damage. And all of these guys have caused the virtual safety car to come out. Who went there? Someone must have made a mistake and lost the car, as Jonas already has a 2-second gap to the car behind in Joloswag. So great start for the McLaren driver. Already pulling away a bit. So we have also the guys really close behind that. We have Jonas who's now got close to Jonas actually. The predicted pit stop strategy is a one stop, of course, hitting in lap 10 to 12, but now the restart has happened. Jonas gets a good exit. He will get up to P1. Because Danny Boy, of course, is landing his AI drive behind it. Will now everyone get through turn 1 safely? Shadow gets the 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And his race got even worse, and he has retired from the session. The whole race got from bad to worse as Jonas, of course, takes the lead of the race. Danny Boy now going to drop down the auto with his AI car driving right now. Scuderia Sepp getting moved down on Danny Boy. But of course his AI is ghosting. A little bit of a center from him. The first guy to lose a little bit of time to the guys in front is actually Jonas. He's out of DRS behind Vaki. Running a bit wide over the curb there. Taking a lot of it with himself, Twitch Lemon. 24k. Of course, on the hards, doing a complete different strategy. Probably trying to do a hard to soft strategy actually. The other way around of everyone else in this race. He also gets past Danny Boy now. And there's a yellow flag. I think it's as of Jonas who has spun around. He has completely spun around and I think he's also got damage now. Yeah, he's got damage to his right end plate in the wall. Sim gone. So everyone's really close to each other. We've got nearly everyone in the top 7 in the DRS. The guy in front, Game Boys and Jonas like a little bit out of it right now. I mean they're by 1 second or 1.1 seconds behind the guy in front. But then we got Scuderia. So really coming close to Jonas right now, who is losing a lot of time to Jonas right now. Two times in one sector only. But I could guess that Jonas is really pushing right now to get away from these guys. So he does not get the possibility of getting undercut by the guys behind. As we also see Game Boys dropping behind Luis right now. As he definitely needs to look behind. Will Kid Blue gets the 3-second time penalty. He's right in front of Vaki though. These guys definitely know each other from qualifying. So what happened to them? Will Kid Blue ruining Vaki's lap there. Being a little bit in the way of the McLaren driver. Jonas actually getting back into the DRS of Jonas right now. We see the top 3 guys really maintaining the same pace as Lewis is also getting closer and closer to them. So it's looking like a 4-way battle for the lead right now. Really good pace from everyone at top right now. Now we need to see who can manage their tires and their fuel and their ERs, of course. The best of all of them. To just make sure to get the tire stretched the longest. To make a good strategy decision. But maybe the undercut will maybe be the best decision here. Because they're so close behind each other. And of course you saw it on the pit stop strategy. They should maybe come in at around lap 10 and then go into the hards and make it to the end. So we'll see who will choose which strategy. If anyone is going to do a 2-stop, but I don't think any of the top 4 guys are now going to do a 2-stop. As it will lose so much time. That's what I can definitely tell you already. As it wouldn't really make sense for them to do that. So it really didn't have a great exit out of the last corner there. Maybe a little bit of dirty air from the Alfa Romeo in front. Running a bit wide. So not able to get onto the throttle as now Scuderia Sepp. All of these guys got the wing open. DRS wing open. And Jonas will now see everyone get closer and closer as Vaki now fighting with Wilkett Blue and Vaki is in the gravel. There might have been a touch between him And the Alfa Romeo driver, who's lagging quite a bit. Twitch Lemon also got past Vaki now. But I think the stewards are going to look at these incidents even a bit more. Just to make sure that Wilka Blue will maybe look at his connection or something. As it's definitely not good for the other drivers to have a guy lagging like that. As now Joloswag made a mistake in turn 10 and 11. He's losing both places to Luis and Scuderia Seb. He will try to go down the inside of Luis. There's not much space left and Joloswag has spun round. Due to a touch with Luis, he will drop down a massive amount of places. He's already dropped behind Vaki now. He's down to P8. He was fighting for the win with Jonas, Scuderia, Sepp and Luis, but then made a mistake. Tried to go down the inside of Luis, but there wasn't much space left. As Gameboys is already coming to the pits, he's trying an early undercut, and he is going onto the hards. He will try to go to the end already. But he has got the wing damage. He might have made a mistake somewhere, but he lost his front wing. And he is losing a massive amount of time here, as he will come out far behind everyone else. But he needs to push hard now. As Evra is running over the curb a lot. You just saw the Williams driver trying to push as hard as he can to get closer to everyone, but he's on a medium seat. Really doesn't need to. As we've also got the graphics back again with the tires, as we see Modstall and Twitch Lemon on 0 lap old tires, which is of course not the truth. We see Twitch Lemon. He started in last place, but he's already so close again to the guy at the front. He's already up into P5. So we see Evir getting a penalty and Scuderia, Seb and Louis closing up to Jonas. Of course, Jonas doesn't have the DRS, so they will come closer and closer each and every lap. 6 tenths between P1 and P2 right now. So Wilcat Blue comes into the pits. In lap for Twitch Lemon now up to P4 on the hards. So we'll need to see what he can do in the end, but he's looking incredibly quick. And Svaki also comes into pits now for hards. Scuderia Seb is coming closer and closer to Jonas, who's now got the pressure of making a strategic decision to maybe not get undercut. So we'll see what these guys will do. Jonas gets the penalty, the 3-second time penalty, which would currently give the win to Scuderia Seb. For turn 10 and 11, of course. Very tricky corners where you can easily get penalties. Seb and also getting a penalty right now. Well, I think he's actually right now only in sector 1. As we now have all of these guys staying out. They're coming close to lapping Drips. I think he left the session actually. There is a yellow flag right now out. Which was... I actually don't know who it was. I think it was Evior maybe. Yeah, he's lost his left end plate. And he will come into the pits as well as Jonas, who's also in now after his spin. As they are all in again. Jonas now not having the luck of getting DRS because of drips. And everyone got even closer now. He still did not have the DRS. 4 tenths and 6 tenths behind, so they're all in between 1 second. Motzl also getting a penalty currently in P5. On F1 2019 he was always known for not getting any penalties. But that already changed right now with his first penalty of the race. Lewis running a bit wide over the curb there. But he's still in the fight, still close enough to battle. But now it will be really interesting to see what these guys are going to do for strategies. Because lap 8, they're coming closer and closer to the pit window. As Jonas will stay out. Scuderius are also staying out and Lucas also staying out. So these guys are not trying to do any undercuts right now. Which I thought they would do. As Scuderius will now try to attack Jonas, but he will stay behind to get him at the second DRS straight. Now, Scuderius will be retaking the lead after starting in pole position. Maybe trying to go around the outside. There's not much space left. A little bit of a tap there. Trying to go down the inside in this corner. They're still side by side. The McLaren driver is alongside him. But they're still side by side. There's still fighting going on between these guys as Jonas looks like he will stay in P1. They're still side by side. Scuderia Sepp now getting overtaken by Luis. When I try to get Jonas, there's no space for him. Scuderia Sepp trying to go around the outside of Luis. He is up into second place again. Luis now getting that second place back. Wheel to wheel racing, and there has been an incident between Luis and Scuderia Sepp. Luis has lost a little bit of his front wing and Scuderia Sepp too. Looking them both on the wall, Scuderia Sepp gets the penalty. Luis losing the place to Twitch Lemon. And they both need to pit now. They were alongside before turn 10. But then they just crashed and went into the wall. As Jonas also coming into the pits now. Not trying to stay out any longer, but he will definitely come out again and retake the provisional lead. As Martin is now coming around the final corner. He will be in P2 for now, with Twitch Lemon leading the race. But of course Jonas will take the lead once these guys come into the pits. Jonas came out only 5 seconds behind Modstall. Twitch Lemon's really having a good race. His pace is actually phenomenal. And he is really going for it all. Starting in last place, but he might actually have the chance to win it all with the strategic thing that he did. As there's a safety car coming out. Simon has crashed out at turn 11. Causing a safety car to come back out. We've had the virtual safety car before in the race. But now we've got the full safety car. Now Twitch Lemon coming into the pits. What tires will he choose? Will he also go into the mediums? That's the big question right now. The question, who will choose which tires to go to the end? But Twitch Lemon now exiting the pits. Will he actually even come out in front of everyone? We now have Jonas approaching the straight. But I think Twitch Lemon has got the lead. He's now exiting the pits and he has got the lead. He's rejoined in front of Jonas. And the safety car has lost the race for most of these guys. We have a lot of guys coming into pits with Twitch Lemon on mediums. Interesting strategy call from him there. We see most of the grid on either hards or mediums, no one on the softs anymore. But now, we just need to wait for the guys to actually catch up right now. Last guy to actually catch up within the race right now is Jonas in P12. I think the safety car will stay out for another lap. Yeah, it will stay out for another lap, but I think next lap it should definitely be able to come in as everyone will be catching up this lap. Now to run down everything, we have Twitch 11. On the mediums in P1, Jonas in P2 with the hearts. We are FC Game Boys with the hearts in P3. Jonas Wake with the hearts in P4. Scuderia Sepp in P5 with the hearts. Luis in P6 also with the hearts. Modstar also with the hearts in P7. And then we've got Willy Kid Blue, Vaki Suma, Evier Jonas, all with the mediums from P8 to P12. That's what it's looking like right now. As everyone has caught up to the safety car again, and it should definitely come out, come in at the end of this lap. The safety car is coming in this lap, as I said. As now Twitch Lemon will be in the pace for the restart. When will he be going onto the front line? Will the guys behind that actually be able to keep up with him? He's got the better tires, he's got the mediums. The guys behind that with the hards won't be able to actually maybe stay with him, but he's got a great restart. As Jonas is currently ghosting. I don't know if he actually got kicked from lobby or something. But he wasn't able to go onto the pace. It was weird. There's now Jonas ghosting through everything and he's lost every position. Modstar up into P2, Luis in P3, Scuderia Sepp in P4. Now I have Vaki in P8. It's really getting close and hairy here. Looks like everyone actually survived. But I think Jonas just disconnected or something. And that's so unbelievably unlucky for the McLaren driver. As we now have Twitch Lemon having a 6-second lead over Modsol. It already looks like he is set to win the race. Starting in last place, Martin Dan in P2, Luis behind us, Scuderia Sepp in P4. Joloswag in P5, Local Blue in P6, and there has been a crash. Suma is in the wall. The reserve driver for Alpha Tauri has spun out. Twitch Lemon sets the fastest lap of the race. But Suma now will be losing everything that he had. So we now have Evier in the pits with damage, it looks like. John still hasn't retaken control of his car. Probably then got kicked out. As now Scuderia Sepp and Martin are fighting, getting down the inside is the Scuderia Sepp. It's the Alpha Romeo driver Scuderia Sepp. That's what I wanted to say, but we saw Luis getting past Modstall, who is now already down into P5. Volker Blue right behind him. Will now try to go down the inside of Modstall. He has made the move stick. He's completely cut the corner though and got a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Not great for him as they're nearly touching. Martin staying behind him for turn 10 and 11. He's going sideways for turn 10 and 11 too. And there's a touch between Vaki and Wilkett Blue again. He's going to the back of Martin, and I think, yeah, he will definitely get penalized after the race by the stewards because this is actually dangerous driving what he's doing right now. He's lagging. He's lagging and just hitting other people off right now. The stewards will definitely take a look at that and definitely talk to him. As Vaki will now try to go down the inside of him. He's got the move done. As he is now up to P5. And say finally for him, QVR FC Game Boys. Now, trying to go down the inside with late send. A little bit of a tap there. Not much room given to go down the inside. As we now have Mercedes 1-2. Who would have thought that this could actually happen in here too? Scuderia Sepp and Joloswag are coming closer and closer to lead. They have been battling at the start of the race and are now also battling now, which I'm with the fast lap, of course, he's on the mediums. So we have to see how good his tires will last to the end. 12 laps remaining. So his laps are going to be 17 laps old once the race has finished. Will be interesting to see if his tires really make it to the end with the performance that he needs to stay in P1. Jonas now gets another 3-second time penalty. The Haas driver in P8 right now. As Jonas has retaken control of his car. Currently in P11. And he will need to have a miracle to get back up and getting good points. They're really lost points for the McLaren team. You can definitely say that. So now Scuderia steps still right behind Luis, fighting for P2. There's a yellow flag and it was Jonas who spun, coming out of the final corner, going onto the straight. He's lost the car and his race went from bad to worse, not the other way around. And the McLaren drivers, I think, definitely not happy about it. He was leading the race for such a long time. And now he's not gonna get into the points anymore, probably. That's his race done then. Close, we're getting another 3-second time penalty. I think he has got 2 or something. I need to look if I have the chance to do so. Shem with another fastest lap. He's really flying in P1 right now on the mediums. But we need to, of course, see how long these mediums can be that fast. Scuderia step 3/10 behind Lewis. He won't be able to make a move down into turn 3. Closback even coming closer to the Scuderia step right now. Only 2 tenths behind the Alfa Romeo driver. Scuderia step is losing a little bit of time to Luis in front. But there is no chance for him to make a move yet up into P3. And he has lost quite a lot of time there, going straight over the curb. If Jonas is actually in right now, or if he's still the guy driving right now. I think he is actually exiting pits right now, so I'm not quite sure. Now Vaki is also catching up to Joloswagon's good rear step to maybe save some points for the McLaren team that they lost from Jonas spinning out, of course. For the Mercedes team, only the points from Luis are going to count, as Twitch Lemon is only a reserve driver, and reserve driver points don't count towards the teams, obviously. Yeah, they don't count towards the F1 teams. Scuderia step is now really close to Luis, still not able to make a move. Outbraking himself there. The Blue now touching with Game Boys again. Trying to stay around the outside, but he did not make it. Game Boys up into P6. Yet another one where Wilkit Blue wasn't the cleanest driver. Scuderia 7 Jodaswick are still so close. To Luis. Vaki also 4 tenths behind, so we've got all of these guys in between less than 1.5 seconds. Fighting for P2. Twitch Lemon with yet another fastest lap. That's his 3rd fastest lap in I think like 5 laps or something. So he's really trying to push and pull away on these medium tires. Ivor in P11 gets another penalty. And yet again, going down to turn 3, we won't see a move from anyone. Vaki outbraking himself, nearly running into the back of Joloswag there. Running a bit wide, losing a lot of time. Or not a lot of time, but still a good amount of time. Probably needed to maybe make an attack at the end of the lap. South Korea step gets past the ghost of Jamura, who now got lapped by everyone. From being in P1 for 10 laps to going down to being lapped in P13. Not a great race for the McLaren driver, as we have another yellow flag. It's Evor who has spun around. Does it cause any kind of safety car? He does not. And now due to Luis Scuderia, Sepp Joswick and Vaki fighting, we now also see Game Boys getting closer to the guys in front. Only 3 seconds behind. But his hearts are actually older than anyone else's on the grid. Vaki gets the 3-second time penalty. Also doesn't help him in the fight for P2, as I will quickly check the penalties for all the drivers. We have Luis without a penalty. We have Scuderia Sepp with 1 penalty. We have Joel Swag with 1 penalty. And we have Vaki with 1 penalty. So all of these guys not hard on penalties. I think Evio just retired in the pits. Yes, he did. Scuderia Sepp is now trying to go around the outside of Luis in sector 3. Hayes got the move done. It's close, but he's up into P2 again. Starting in pole, back up to P2. He has got the move done. And there's Jolosweg. I think he touched Luis a bit. Or broke himself. That got into his back. And Luis nearly touching the wall. That was so close for him to make contact with the wall. Jolosweg now gets past him. Luis tries to stay next to him around the outside. 2 touches with the Renault driver and another touch. Baki now trying to get down the inside of Luis. He does not get the move done. And Luis has all broke himself too. He touched Jolosweg. And that puts Luis down to P5, Scuderia Sepp in P2, Vaki in P3, Jolosweg in P4. And Gameboys is also getting close to Luis now, who has not got damage. And luckily, will get the blue in coming into the pits for softs to maybe get the fastest lap. Now Gameboys also getting close to the fight in front. Luis is losing some time to the guy in front, as Gameboys is coming closer and closer, but his heart is of course 4 laps older than Luis once. But will Gameboys maybe be able to get a move on Luis before the race ends? I think it's nearly safe to say that Twitch Lemon will be winning the race in P1, 15 seconds ahead of Scuderia Sepp in P2. Behind that, we've got the guys still being close from P2 to P6, but not as close as a few laps before, as we have about 1 second gaps between everyone except for Luis and Gameboys. He is trying to get that P5 heavily, as he needs those points for Team Red Bull, as Diamond of course retired. Vaki also needs the points in P3 currently for the McLaren team, as Jonas also lost the points. And as of now, Alfa Romeo would be leading the Constructors' Championship. As we have Jonas also coming into the pits, I think he will also try to go for the fastest lap of the race. As Gameboys is really coming closer and closer to Lewis, who can't quite keep up with the guys in front anymore. We're getting into the last few laps. This is Waki 1.6 seconds behind Scuderia Seb, maybe pushing for P2. Cholo Swag 2.2 seconds behind, and I don't think he will be able to make any move on the guys in front. Gameboys is the only one currently in range that I can see making a move before the race ends. But now we need to actually see how the tires are still going to go on. 14 laps on the tires for Waki and Twitch Lemon in P1 and P3. Twitch Lemon still not losing a lot of time there in P1. It looks like it's a very dominating win for him if he can keep it until the end of the race, as we will get blue now, getting closer to Muscle, who's setting his AI drive actually. And don't need to watch that if he gets past him. Can blue got past him, of course he's got faster tires. But now we can just see on the timing screen, Luis can't keep up with Joloswag right now anymore. Gameboys is only coming closer and closer. 20 lap old hearts for the Red Bull driver though. So that's also one thing that needs to be looked at. Still 6 tenths between P5 and P6 would really help the Red Bull team with the points that they would get. Only 4 tenths between Gameboys and Luis. We're in lap 27. We're not far away from the end right now. So of course there's not a long time left for Gameboys to make a move, but Luis is also catching up to Joloswag right now. So maybe they could even gain 2 places. Or both these guys could maybe gain a place, as Joloswag is really slowing down on his tires, even though his tires are a little bit younger than Gameboy's tires, but he's lost a lot of time in that last lap. Lewis is nearly in the DRS right now, 1.2 seconds. Twitch Lemon in P1 currently maintaining his pace against Scuderia Seb, 13.8 seconds, with a little bit more than a lap to go for all drivers. We see a bug on the timing screen that Jonas is on the softs for 28 laps, which is of course not true. I mean, if you're really good on the tires, some guys will do that with a bug or something, but 30 laps just got past start finish straight. Cody's, well done, you did a nice job with this game. But right now it's not looking like we see any move in the last lap, unless Game Boss will make a late send at some point, or if there's a mistake from anyone. But it's not looking likely, as I should say. We're entering the final lap. Game Boy is 4 tenths behind Luis. Looks like it's the closest he's been in the race, but it looks like it won't be enough, as Luis will also get into the DRS of Jolsberg right now. It will be a very, very close thing. He gets the penalty. I'm not quite sure if Game Boy set a penalty before, so they could maybe lose Luis that 5th place and give Game Boys the chance to get up to P5. I don't know how many penalties he has. Twitch Lemon also gets one right now. That won't cost him anything, as he is currently approaching the last few corners before he will cross the line to win race 1 of the PS4 Tier 1. As he will now come down into final 2 corners, but we're now watching this battle between Game Boys and Luis right now. Will quickly go up to Twitch Lemon, will now come towards the line, and he has won race 1 of the OSRL Season 3 PS4 Tier 1. Game Boy staying behind Luis though. We'll have Scuderia Sepp now crossing the line in P2. Behind that, no one will make some move. We will have Scuderia Sepp 27 coming home in P2. Vaki getting that 3rd place. Josway coming across the line in P3. But now we have Luis and Game Boys both gaining a place. Luis in P4, Game Boys in P5, dropping Josway down to P6. We're missing the final few drivers. Come over the line, Suma. 18 level mediums coming home in P7. Jonas really pushing hard on the softs, but it wasn't enough to get Suma back in P7. It will be P8. For him, Owen, it won't be. Suma had so many penalties, it will drop him down to P8. And now the last guy to finish, Will Kid Blue. Willy Kid Blue. I don't think I have to say much about it anymore. But it's coming over the line, and that is the race done. Twitch of course, gets driver of the day. Getting trophy for the Mercedes driver. This is the result of the race. We have Twitch Lemon winning, Scuderia Sepp in P2, Vaki in P3, Lewis in P4, Gameboys in P5, Jolswag in P6, Jonas in P7, Suma in P8, Wilkid Blue in P9. Modstone P10, Danny Boy in P11, Jonas in P12, Drips in P13, Evio in P14, Steven in P15, and Shadow in P16. And I think that's it for this week's race, Australia's race 1. And we will be back for race number 2 of the OSRL next week in Bahrain. So I hope to see a lot of you guys back again for what should be another exciting race where the pace should probably be even closer than today. And I will say bye, bye. Thank you for joining us for the race today. Hope you enjoyed it, and peace.